Chapter 91 I am a retired old man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 91 A retired ancestor. Who is this Chen family ancestor? Emperor Di Luo glanced at his ministers. The Chen family could easily destroy the great Xia dynasty and the Jun family, which was nothing to their Di Luo dynasty, but this sign and trend is not good. Because it means that the Chen family already has the strength to fight against the top dynasties. Once the Chen family has the idea of becoming king and hegemony, it is not a good thing. What if it can shake the top position in their dynasty? They have to guard against it in advance. The ministers looked at the female emperor of a generation with great respect, the emperor among emperors. Not only an emperor, but also a great emperor. Your Majesty, it is rumored that the ancestor of the Chen family has only lived for a few months, and has led a small clan to rise, and his hands and eyes are all over the sky. It can destroy the great Xia dynasty and the Jun family, and now it is ranked among the aristocratic families, so it must be at the top. If the Chen family is still like this, it will be fine. If it occupies the territory of the great Xia dynasty and becomes the king, it will not be a good thing. The ministers obviously understand this truth and know what Your Majesty is thinking. Your Majesty, I don't think so. The rapid growth of the Chen family is not necessarily a bad thing. Without the family background and inheritance, the descendants of Tianjiao are just a flash in the pan. A minister stood up. In this case, the Chen family is not to be feared, let alone becoming the king. The Chen family does have power, but it is unknown whether it can last. Because, looking at the entire continent, the top forces that can survive to the present are absolutely durable, no doubt. The eyes of Emperor Di Luo are full of imperial aura. She certainly understands this truth. The Di Luo holy dynasty has changed and grown for countless generations to achieve its current status, but the Chen family burst out with energy, which is real. If it becomes a royal family, its strength must be ranked in the upper middle of the 10 dynasties. Such elusive and unknown things are not strange to exist. After all, other royal families know them very well. Then what do you think, my dear ministers? The voice can shock the ministers and generals, and she doesn't need such advice. Another minister quickly stood up. Your Majesty, I think it's better to test the intentions of the Chen family before making a decision. If the ancestor of the Chen family has this idea, then you can invite the Chen family to participate in the dynasty hegemony. If not, invite him to participate in the dynasty hegemony. As soon as this was said, everyone began to ponder, and Emperor Di Luo understood the meaning of this statement. In the dynasty hegemony, the major dynasties directly arranged a process of the great king. After all, they did not interfere with each other, and they had to show the strength of the dynasty and deter, and once there is deterrence, they will subconsciously distinguish the superior and the inferior. There are hegemony competitions at all levels. If the Chen family has this idea, they will definitely not refuse to invite him. At that time, they can suppress the friction, be a younger brother, and suppress him layer by layer to prevent future troubles. If the Chen family has no idea, inviting him is tantamount to a kind of isolation and disguised suppression, reminding other dynasties to be on guard to prevent possible variables. And if the Di Luo dynasty invites the Chen family will definitely not have the courage to refuse and not give face. Unless the other party has the ability to crush their Di Luo dynasty. Obviously unlikely. Emperor Di Luo immediately made a decision. Okay, this matter is settled. However, the other party has no intention, so don't pay attention. Withdraw. After speaking, he stood up and left, but she didn't want to be so troublesome. Because when the other party has intentions, just destroy it directly and sit firmly in the first place. If there is no intention, there is no need to make enemies. The speed of the Chen family's rise is terrifying. What if this short-lived flash can directly surpass their Di Luo dynasty? It's better not to have any intentions. She murmured, she is the 8th level of the Emperor realm and the strongest in the Di Luo dynasty. She must be strong, otherwise the ancestor will not let her, a female generation, be the emperor. She can only speak with strength. If she takes action, it will be easy to destroy Daxia and the Jun family. I don't know what will happen to the Chen family. Chen Fan just wants to say, as a retired ancestor, it is reasonable to talk about love, right? That looking at Emperor Xiao at this moment, she is wearing a purple long skirt today, which can't hide her elegance. Xiao, why do you have such an idea, that you are actually greedy for your body? When I saw you when I was 3 years old, you were not like this. Yes, it was not allowed at that time, no. Emperor Xiao said to Chen Fan very seriously. Xuanhuan, I know you want a child, you can do it. She knows that Xuanhuan wanted a child of his own earlier, and for this reason, someone always went to urge Ling Qingcheng, although she didn't know why. She was right, she certainly didn't know the story of Chen Fan and Ling Qingcheng. Chen Fan smiled, I really want it. What are you waiting for? I'll give it to you. The Emperor Qiao grabbed Chen Fan with her snow-white hands, moved her slender legs, and hurried away. It's impossible to be rejected, it's embarrassing. It's better to come directly and don't give Xuanhuan a chance to refuse. Chen Fan was a little confused, his wife came too suddenly, although he really needs to add talented descendants to the family, this is an unshirkable responsibility. It's an obligation that comes with it. This kind of pain is destined to be borne by him. But Qiao is an older leftover woman. I always feel that she wants to eat tender grass. Qiao, you are the ancestor of Qiao Kingdom. Always remind yourself that Qiao is not an old cow eating young grass. What's wrong with the ancestor? Don't you know the ancestor? Emperor Qiao immediately refuted. Besides, what can I do with the ancestor, that how can it be the same? Chen Fan then directly picked her up by the waist, staring at her stunning face. Have you figured it out? You know you have no chance to regret it. For a retired ancestor, it is reasonable to have many children and more blessings, it doesn't matter if she is charming or not, the main purpose is to solve the problem of older leftover women being single. It's pitiful to see Emperor Qiao, and she needs sympathy. Emperor Qiao's body trembled slightly, it seems that Xuanhuan still wants that, so bad, men are all bad when they grow up, then stared at Chen Fan. Well, Xuanhuan, I don't regret it, don't say anything, just start. Later, Emperor Xianji may come back to catch the bag, she will definitely not agree to this marriage. Chen Fan hugged the soft and boneless body, very light, like a thin gauze, walked towards his own palace. Then let's make a deal. If something shocks you in the future, don't be surprised, don't panic. Emperor Qiao was very nervous. When she heard this, she always felt that there was something she didn't know. Shocking. What could be more shocking than now? Xuanhuan must be embarrassed, snow-white tender hands entangled with him. Xuanhuan. Although you were only 3 years old when we first met, it does not affect our current relationship. As long as you are willing, you can stay. However, if your master knows about our affairs in the future, help intercept it. When Emperor Xuanji returns, I don't know if she will be able to match him. Of course, she is making rapid progress now, but it is always more reassuring to say it in advance. Upon hearing this, Chen Fan appeared in the palace the next moment, looking at the vague white ankle, he quickly saw the white and tender feet. Xuanhuan. Emperor Qiao was stunned for a moment, why is he so anxious? He suddenly ran so fast. Chapter 92, Getting Married Soon, Xiao Yu successfully breaks through. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 92, Soon they got married, Xiao successfully broke through. Chen Fan said, Qiao, master will understand. You don't have to fight each other in the future, because I will not only fight, but also join in. I won't just watch from the side like before. Emperor Qiao was a little confused, but the masculine breath from her red lips at that moment made her mind go blank. Then, she fell down. There was no secret to tell, all the secrets were given to Xuanhuan. The next day, Chen Fan woke up and looked at the graceful and slender body in his arms. The long hair flowing like a waterfall was scattered beside her, covering her delicate and fair-side face. Sure enough, time never defeats beauty. At the beginning, Emperor Qiao and Master were both very beautiful, but it was useless, so I could only look at them. Now it's useful, he. Let's do it in secret first. System, sign in. Ding, Sign in successfully, congratulations to the host for obtaining the heavenly ladder. Chen Fan took a rough look at it. This thing is a kind of thing that detects the talent and strength of the cultivator. It's very simple. The higher you climb, the more outstanding you are. It can also detect the character of the cultivator. It's just right for the family to recruit disciples in the future, and there are also rewards for taking the surrounding Dao domains of the Heavenly Abyss domain, the family's library, as well as the Alchemy Hall, the Refining Hall, and the Talisman Hall have all been strengthened and upgraded. The family disciples who came back, who have some achievements in this area, of course make the best use of them and perform their duties. It seems that these areas also need to cultivate some heavenly disciples. Chen Fan murmured. It must be possible to produce and sell by oneself, and it must be strong. This is also the foundation and confidence of the other side of the family. Xuanhuan, you're awake. Emperor Qiao felt that the little guy looked harmless, but once he grew up, it would be different, deep. I have a deep understanding. I felt ashamed when I thought about it, but as a figure of the ancestor level, she was finally going to have a child. Chen Fan smiled. Qiao, in a few days, we will get married. At that time, Qingqing, I, and you will be together. There is no need to say this, right? Master doesn't have to worry about social death, Qiao doesn't have to worry about social death, and I don't have to worry about social death either. Everything is in order. It will be easier to do things together in the future. By the way, Emperor Qiao's name is Qiao. Qiao nodded softly. Then I will call you husband. That I was ecstatic inside. Don't ask, the ancestor is going to get married. In the future, she will be a member of the Chen family. Putting aside age, a little husband is also a husband. Let me hear what that is called. Chen Fan's idea was very simple. A woman who is 30,000 years older than her husband can become a god and establish a position. No matter how old a wife is, she is still a wife. My husband, haven't you heard enough of your screams last night? No, let's continue. Time passed quickly. Not long after, Qiao was pregnant. Then, a wedding ceremony was held, the ancestor got married, and the lights were bright in the Chen family's city. The Chen family manages the Dao domain, and tens of thousands of large and small forces come to pay their respects. It can be regarded as the biggest grand ceremony since the Chen family established itself. As for the major top forces on the mainland, it should be invited to test their attitudes, but he did not, for no other reason. He did not want to cause any trouble, that's all. And they also lived together. Speaking of which, since Qiao joined, Ling Qingqing has never been shy, and she was embarrassed before. What does it mean? Social death together is equal to no social death. That day, there was finally movement from the second disciple Xiao. Along with the shadow of the ancestral dragon, it soared into the sky and wandered in the clouds. Xiao was surrounded by it, and the power of blood was majestic and terrifying. Ding, the second disciple Xiao successfully refined the essence of the ancestral dragon. Congratulations to the host for winning a reward of a divine pill. Chen Fan watched quietly. He showed a master smile. The second disciple was quite motivated. She seized the opportunity to change her fate against the will of heaven. I'm afraid only she knew the hardships and pain. As for the divine pill reward, it was good, which also showed that Xiao's progress was much greater than that of the eldest disciple. This is a true qualitative change. Raising a little dragon girl is not bad. Before that, the ant also successfully refined the essence of the ancestral phoenix, which can be said to be a good thing, but she found that the ant liked to refine pills. This aspect is also quite talented, so he gave all the rewards for the alchemy aspect in recent days to his ant, and made sure to train his ant into a qualified little alchemy mother. As for the Chen family disciples who are talented, he certainly did not skimp, and gave all kinds of resources to them. The feedback rewards have also accumulated a lot. The rest can be trained after the Chen family gives birth to an extraordinary genius. This is a matter of time, and there is no rush. Somewhere, Ling Zhoshue felt this breath, and her beautiful eyes moved. Ancestral dragon bloodline. That I thought it was rare for the eldest sister Bai Fengrong to create the ancestral phoenix bloodline. But I didn't expect that the second sister would have such an opportunity to get the ancestral dragon bloodline. Sure enough, poaching the master is the top priority. Ancestral dragon bloodline and ancestral phoenix bloodline are comparable to god-level bloodlines. In other words, the eldest sister and the second sister have the potential to become gods. She thought that the eldest sister and the second sister could also be poached. This place will restrict the growth of the eldest and second sisters. What bad intentions can she have? Of course, she knew that this bloodline was not all, otherwise, the complete blood of the ancestral dragon and ancestral phoenix would also be extremely powerful among the divine blood. She could not envy it, because she herself also had divine blood and was a descendant of the true God. Divine blood can be strengthened by absorption or refinement, but it will also repel each other. She was not envious either, because she was already very powerful. Somewhere else, Bai Fengrong cried with greed. The spirit of the ancestral dragon. Needless to say, her master's second disciple succeeded. Before her master was not there, she was responsible for watching that girl from being hurt by the blood of the ancestral dragon. She glanced at her daughter next to her. She was also transformed by the blood of the ancestral phoenix. She herself had the blood of the ancient phoenix, but as a descendant of the phoenix, her blood had many attributes, such as ice phoenix, fire phoenix, etc. She belonged to the ice attribute, and she could even use ice and snow to evolve to comprehend various laws and powers. Her daughter belonged to the mutant attribute, and her bloodline power was even stronger than hers, but the blood of the ancestral phoenix has all attributes, and each attribute is extremely powerful. Because it is the most primitive blood, it can be said to be a hexagonal warrior. No, I have to do something, and I will leave my daughter behind. Mom, where are you going? Bai Fengrong knew that the second apprentice sister succeeded, so as the eldest apprentice sister, she was of course very happy. But what is mother going to do? Bai Fengrong said, Sister, I want to be your master's teacher. That if you can't be a disciple, be a teacher. Guide, cultivate an absolutely strong person, and increase your sense of participation, but at this level, she is not so arrogant. Arrogant people may be beaten to death in the last chapter, and she must have tens of thousands of minds. Ah! Bai Fengrong was stunned. She didn't expect her mother to be unscrupulous. She actually wanted to train her master. Then she looked at her mother in a daze to find the master. Soon, the surging dragon energy converged, and Xiao opened her beautiful eyes and saw the master appear next to her at the first time. He immediately half knelt down. Master, I have done my duty. Nephew. Let the ant do the Xiao family's hatred. Ant felt that she could do it. Chen Fan reached out and helped her up. Jiao, this is what you deserve. The second disciple has changed a lot, especially in temperament and aura, that is, confidence. It's not easy. Then he pointed at the spiritual power and entered Xiao's body. Xiao knew that this was because the master was afraid that there would be some hidden dangers in her body, so he checked her body. Then the master and the apprentice chatted for a while. After learning that the master had married, Xiao almost cried. He didn't catch up. Be sure to make up for the master in the future. It was also at this time that Bai Fengrong arrived. Chapter 93 Bai Fengrong, I want to be your instructor. Chen Fan is ecstatic. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 93 Bai Fengrong, I will be your instructor. Chen Fan is ecstatic. Seeing this, Chen Fan greeted, Senior Fengrong. After learning from the disciple that her mother is the leader of the ancient Phoenix clan, he was also very surprised. No wonder she is so strong. No wonder the disciple is heartless and afraid of nothing. Enough of fighting with her mother. Bai Fengrong said directly, Her master, I came to talk to you about something. Senior, it's okay to speak directly. Well, her master, let me guide your future cultivation. What? Since Chen Fan retired, he never thought that he would be trained again. Senior, what do you mean? Bai Fengrong walked a few steps casually. I have comprehended many laws, although from a single point of view, it is far inferior to your law of time. But practicing in many laws can help you comprehend the mysteries. Of course, I am just guiding, and I did not let you inherit my mantle, so it does not affect your relationship with your master. Then he looked at Chen Fan and waited for a reply. The mother came in person to pay for her daughter's tuition. There is really no other bad intention. Chen Fan did not hesitate. Then thank you for your advice. Whether Bai Fengrong represented the ancient Phoenix clan or herself, it seemed that there was no reason to refuse, and the emperors with law power and those without law power are two different existences. This thing requires extreme luck and opportunity. naturally the more the better, and more skills are better, but it seems that retirement life is not easy. Okay, let's start now. Bai Fengrong said directly. Now. Well. Now the Chen family is just getting a foothold. Although they are not worried about danger, they are also not afraid of other troubles. Your deterrent power is still not enough. As a mother, it is reasonable for her to raise her daughter's master, Bai Fengrong continued. Don't tell me that your goal is only this, I won't believe it. She certainly doesn't believe it. Since she has reached this position, her master must have reason to compete for the first position of the Gu family, Chen Fan smiled. Indeed. Senior, in return, I will give you a drop of Zufeng blood to help you break through your cultivation. It seems that Bai Fengrong still understands him, waiting for you to say this. Bai Fengrong's expression did not change. Her master, don't be so polite to me. She smiled in her heart, her master is teachable. After speaking, she directly released the power of the law, shadowless and invisible. Although she did not move, the power of the law has filled the space. At the same time, he said, the law of speed is what I comprehended when I entered an ancient secret realm in my early years. If it is linked to your law of time, it will definitely have extraordinary effects. You should comprehend it with your heart. How much you can gain depends on yourself. She didn't know whether Chen Fan could comprehend it, but this was all she could do. Chen Fan was in the law of speed, which was extremely mysterious. It seemed that the space was changing and it was difficult to capture anything. He even reached the point where he could only see countless blurred shadows. In fact, it was not, he did not move. It was an illusion created by the power of the law of speed. This was a special environment opened up by Bai Fengrong. If you say that you can speed up your speed by using stagnant time as a reference, then the essence of the law of speed is that you are fast enough. It is not to speed up by controlling time in disguise. The same is true for the law of space, but the level is higher. Unfortunately, he has not yet, from this point of view, as long as he can comprehend the law of speed, coupled with the linkage of the law of time, his speed will only be faster than Bai Fengrong. Even if you can't win, you can run. This is a necessary skill. Happy incarnation, ding, it is detected that the host is comprehending the law of speed. Do you want to hang up? You can hang up. Chen Fan didn't say anything and lay down first. He still has the attitude that retirement should have. Bai Fengrong knew that he had started after noticing Chen Fan's state. She was still giving verbal guidance. Her master. To comprehend the law, you must be calm in your heart and cannot rely on the law of time, otherwise the effect will be discounted. The law of time stops time, which is different from the law of speed. The essence of the law of speed lies in the cultivator's own communication with the way of heaven. Similarly, it is not a space transfer, but a speed to break through the space. That she knew that Chen Fan could hear it. As for how to understand and what method to use, that was Chen Fan's business. Time passed by minute. At some point, Chen Fan opened his eyes and finished hanging up. Bai Fengrong saw this. Interrupting the state is not a good thing. How long has it been? It's only been a few hours. Could it be that her master has encountered a bottleneck? Suddenly, she found that Chen Fan's shadow was gone. Her beautiful eyes were horrified. The law of speed, that there was even a shadow left, and the breath could not be detected. This was escaping into the long river of time. It should be said that Chen Fan's speed has exceeded the speed she can perceive. Reached a certain degree of invisibility, her master understood it so quickly. I thought she had been a teacher for decades. She even wanted to scold her daughter. Don't be so devastating. How long has it been? It took her several years to understand the law of speed. Her face froze and she was a little depressed. The next moment, Chen Fan appeared beside Bai Fengrong. Thank you for your advice, senior. The law of speed is really powerful. Coupled with the law of time, even if the cultivation is not as good as the opponent, you can win with speed. This is the importance of comprehensive strength. Bai Fengrong was skeptical. Master, have you really understood it? That I'm worried. How could it be so fast? It feels like a dream. I'm ready to fight a protracted battle all night long. You told me it's over. Chen Fan nodded. Senior, shall I show you again? that it seems that this disciple's mother is a hot commodity. There's no way, she knows too much. No need. Bai Fengrong was still skeptical. Master, watch out next. The law of light. The law of devouring, that this seat also has dignity. In order to be a mentor for a longer time, it is necessary to increase the difficulty. Otherwise, it will be lonely, and it will be the same if you don't do it, and your daughter will laugh at you. Don't even think about going through the back door at this time. Even reminded, her master, the dual law will create chaos in the law. Whether you can separate it from it and comprehend it depends on your ability. This is also a way to deal with a strong man with multiple laws. The meaning is very clear. Prepare you in advance and increase combat experience, so that you will not be unable to deal with the strong man with dual laws or even multiple laws in the future. Instantly, a ray of light filled the space, with terrifying destructive energy, seemingly gentle, but full of invisible murderous intent. This is the power of the law of light, not Ultraman. There is also an invisible devouring force that makes it difficult to detect and hard to defend. It feels like there is no way to get down for a while. That is the law of devouring. The law of devouring. Chen Fan didn't expect that his disciple's mother would be better than he thought. Hidden, not exposed at all, he had never seen it before. Senior, just come out. Then immediately show the attitude you should have. Choose to hang up. This time, Bai Fengrong stared at Chen Fan and didn't let go, as if she wanted to see clearly how Chen Fan did it and comprehended the law so quickly. At the same time, she did not forget to remind him. The law of light has the power of destruction. Its core is the essence of life, and it also has the explosive power to destroy life. The law of swallowing is attraction. Everything has attraction. How to expand this attraction to the level of swallowing everything depends on your level of perception. Light is in the light, swallowing is in the dark. The combination of the two laws can form chaos. If you separate them and comprehend them, it all depends on your understanding. Of course, don't be impatient. It is extremely difficult to comprehend one of them. After Bai Fengrong finished speaking, she was still staring at Chen Fan. To comprehend one of the laws means that the other law is a disturbance, and you have to deal with it at the same time. This difficulty is extremely difficult. Of course, she can do it. As a teacher, she still has this ability. Time passed by. At some point, Chen Fan opened his eyes. Suddenly, his eyes glowed. That was the law of light being released through his eyes. Wow, I feel like with the ancient double pupils, my eyes are invincible. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 94, Ancient Secret Art of Creation Puppetry, Chen Family Recruits Disciples. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the same time, Chen Fan was surrounded by a devouring force. It was like swallowing time and space, forming a destructive force. That was the devouring law. This thing, itself is a kind of attribute. Special physiques and bloodlines of the technique have this attribute. When it becomes a law, it is naturally at a higher level. However, Chen Fan's compatibility with the devouring law is not high, but he can control it. It is a skill that is better than nothing. Seeing this, Bai Fengrong took 3 steps back. The law of light. The devouring law, that it was very uncomfortable. Her master not only succeeded, but also comprehended 2 laws at once. And in such a short time. You know, if she wants to comprehend like this, she must peel off one by one, and then comprehend it, not simultaneously. So, am I unworthy? Her master, congratulations, you have obtained the energy of 3 laws. In this way, the time he will be a mentor will be very short. Chen Fan is not practicing, it's just like copying. As long as you create a training environment for him, he will surprise you. No, it's a shock. I've never seen such a pervert. Thank you for your guidance, senior. Chen Fan felt very comfortable. In this way, his combat power will increase countless. It's not as simple as it looks on the surface. Bai Fengrong was depressed for a while, and then happily accepted the reality. Her master, in this case, except for the law of charm that is not suitable, I will teach you all the other laws and powers. The atmosphere is already here, and it feels that it doesn't matter if I practice on the dog. Chen Fan was shocked and emptied the eldest disciple's mother. Senior, I'm ready. Then, continue the PY transaction. A few days passed, Chen Fan made rapid progress under Bai Fengrong's training. Various laws and powers are just handy, it's just that understanding is understanding, and having is having, but the depth of application and level of attainment still need him to study carefully. In return, he gave Bai Fengrong a drop of ancestral phoenix blood, which is fair and reasonable. During this period, he handed over the heaven-asking ladder to his clansmen and went to arrange for the Chen family to recruit disciples. Now, listening to the noise, it seems that the city has become lively. Naturally, he doesn't need to worry too much. System, sign. Ding, signing is successful. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ancient secret art, the creation puppet art. Ancient secret art. Creation puppet art. Chen Fan was stunned for a moment, and then immediately began to study. Soon, the secret art of creation puppet art made him extremely surprised. It turns out that puppet art can be used in this way. Making puppets for people to use is not difficult for some unconventional forces. Of course, it is not a crooked way, but just another way of survival for cultivators. The difficulty lies in making powerful puppets, and this puppetry of creation is not about making puppets, but controlling puppets. This kind of control is different from general control and manipulation. It is through the possession of puppets at the level of cultivators' souls, so that cultivators can have puppet-level power. Of course, the requirements are extremely high. After all, if the cultivator's cultivation is not as good as the puppet, then he needs to bear the power brought by the powerful power. The pressure on the body will be very terrifying, and the soul level must be extremely high. As for the effect, it is obvious that it can make powerful puppets play a greater role and be more flexible and versatile. With this puppetry of creation, perhaps a group of different strong men can be cultivated. Chen Fan's eyes were hot. It can be imagined that if the soul is possessed by those emperor-level puppets, it is so terrifying. There is basically no difference from the living peerless genius. Arrangements must be made, but it should not be easy to find the right person. After thinking about it, Chen Fan casually took out the source of space law. This was the guaranteed signing reward yesterday. Then he started to control it directly. Before going to Huangzhou to figure out the mystery of his father's disappearance, he must not be careless. He needs sufficient preparation. Because of the experience and words of the third disciple, he felt that his father might go to another world, and his life and death were uncertain. Of course, he didn't have to work too hard. The preparations should still be made. Mom, how about you train my master? Bai Fengrong couldn't forget this. It sounds a bit messy for my mother to be the master's instructor, but it feels quite fun. Bai Fengrong was offended. Sister, I am your master's instructor. It's over. It's over before it even started. Her master learns too fast. It's easier than eating and drinking water. The law has no dignity, not to mention herself, Bai Fengrong said. It's over. Isn't it lonely for my mother to be a teacher? Bai Fengrong said, your master learns too fast. Apart from the law, I have nothing to guide him. So, mother, my master has mastered many laws. Bai Fengrong's eyes lit up. Master, so fast. Not just ordinary fast. That's right. Your master is really a god. Bai Fengrong didn't know what to say, so she blew him. Then she took out a drop of Xuanhuan blood. Her eyes were hot. Sister, I want to improve my strength. Forget it, I don't want to think about it. I just think I didn't suffer any loss, just a little blow. Seeing this, Bai Fengrong fell into deep thought. Outside the Chen family's huge city, the disciples of the Chen family let the news out. The Chen family recruited disciples with foreign surnames, which were equivalent to the outer disciples in the sect. As soon as the news came out, countless monks rushed over non-stop, incomparably spectacular. There are even monks squatting around the giant city, waiting for the Chen family to recruit disciples. Oh, it's not easy. The Chen family has finally started to recruit disciples, and they didn't let me sit there picking up rags for so long. No. It is said that the huge city of the Chen family is a holy place for cultivation. Countless disciples of the powerful clan want to squeeze their heads in to get in. That's for sure. There are even major chambers of commerce who want to build the Chen family's huge city, and there are also people who want to open real estate and build pavilions and inns to make money. What a beautiful thought. How could the Chen family allow it? Don't worry, go and have a look. For a moment, there was a mad rush to the Chen family's giant city. My son must be sent to the Chen family as a disciple. Send my daughter in. Send the son of the old Wang family next door in. See what I do, that's my own son. That it is a supreme honor to become a disciple of the Chen family. In the distance, several figures watched this scene. Sure enough, the Chen family has started recruiting disciples. What should we do? Your Majesty asked me to wait because he wanted us to infiltrate the Chen family and find out the details. Looking at it this way, this is a great opportunity. As long as you become a disciple of the Chen family, you will always have a chance. Undercover. Then what are you waiting for? With our talents, it is not difficult to enter the Chen family, but at the same time, there are other unknown disciples who come with the same purpose. They work as undercover agents of the Chen family, knowing the enemy and winning every battle. In the crowd, an old man and a boy. However, it is said that the ancestor of the Chen family possesses the rumored supreme bone. Your supreme bone has been dug up, and there may be a chance to solve this problem. You must seize the opportunity. Grandpa, I know, I will definitely seize the opportunity, I don't dare to be disrespectful. The boy said. Chapter 95, Asking for the Ladder to Heaven, the person whose supreme bone was dug out. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old man heard this and nodded with satisfaction, then he looked at Qinjia City, a rather emotional look. This city is really a desirable place. He realized that this place is very suitable for monks to practice and is very mysterious. The S come from a small race, the Yi tribe, of course means leaf, just like the family. There are also various small families. Among the powerful tribes, there are also countless small and large races, just like the human race, but there are also some differences. They have their own sect inheritance, passed down through the ages. The little boy next to him is named Yi Hao, a descendant of. It is a great good thing for the Yi tribe that such a genius was born in the Yi tribe. In the future, he will inevitably lead the Yi clan to glory. However, he once thought that Yi Hao was targeted by his fiancée, and the members of his tribe dug up the supreme bone, suffering great pain and shock at a young age. The marriage between the tribes and races was just blown away, adding insult to injury. After learning that the ancestor of the Chen family had a supreme body, they had the idea of asking for help. After all, monks who also possess the supreme bone may perceive it more clearly. Historical records are of little use, therefore, traveling thousands of miles away from the tribe and coming to seek Dharma is also a hope. Yi Hao raised his head and asked, Grandpa, are the ancestors of the Chen family willing to help us? That the old man's name was Yi Gu. He lowered his head and said, However, no matter what, we have to try. The Chen family is huge, and we remember that being rude means being disrespectful. Don't worry, Grandpa and the entire Yi clan will help you fight for it even if it costs everything. Grandpa, I understand. Okay, now that the Chen family is recruiting disciples, we can't meet the Chen family ancestor directly. You just have to behave well. Whether you have a chance or not is up to you. After saying that, the two of them walked towards Chen's house. At this moment, the area around the city was extremely lively and riotous. Xiao Yu is mainly responsible for the Chen family's task of recruiting disciples. The Chen family and his aunts and sisters are responsible for assisting. Xiao Yu was very scared and fearful, but when she thought about the task assigned to her by her master, she wanted to train her and she tried her best. In the future, I will avenge the Xiao family. Breathe deeply. Her beautiful eyes scanned the crowd. Everyone, please be quiet. Anger and self-prestige. This is the influence of ancestral dragon's bloodline. It will even give people some kind of illusion. Hearing bursts of dragon roars. Suddenly, there was silence, and there was no sound. They all looked at Xiao Yu, completely daring to beep. Xiao Yu was stunned for a moment. He was so obedient. He thought that when I educated my eldest nephew, he was very obedient, means that I will beat my eldest nephew with my fatness from now on, then start talking about the rules. Today, our Chen family is recruiting disciples. The age limit is within 1 age. The rules are very simple. There are 10,000 levels in this ladder. The one who ranks at the top is qualified to become a disciple of my Chen family. Indicate the width of the ladder at the end, don't worry, it will automatically extend according to the situation. Okay, everyone, line up in an orderly manner. After Xiao Yu finished speaking, he walked away to be responsible for monitoring and handling emergencies. Hear the words, there was a commotion in the crowd, they all looked up at the ladder to ask questions. I'm a kid. I'm old. It seems I can't become a disciple of the Chen family. It was a wrong payment, right? Brother, don't leave. Just watch how they come back. Some people start thinking about other things when they are of age, some people frowned. Climb the ladder again. I feel like I have to climb the ladder everywhere, and I have to climb others. Oh, this is normal. Climbing a ladder, you know what to climb, it's hell. That's right, I know how powerful this ladder is. Come on, come together. Don't pull me, I'm afraid of heights. All of a sudden, they all flocked to the Wentian ladder. Among the crowd, the undercover agents sent by the major forces were also ready to make a move. Because the Chen family has risen so fast, it seems extremely mysterious and unknown to its top powers. In order to make it easier to deal with it in the future, just in case, I came up with this strategy. First of all, we must find out how much peak power the Chen family has. There are also some secrets in it and what the Chen family has in mind. If you know something about it, it would be best if you know it. Chen family city is easy to sneak into, so takes the opportunity to find out. The eyes of Di Luo Holy Dynasty and the others flashed. The leading man said, you will know if you try anything. Let's go together. Then they walked over one after another. One of the men's eyes flashed again. His name was Chen Chong. He was the bodyguard of the eldest princess of Di Luo Holy Dynasty, and was sent to perform the task. I was thinking in my heart, if I return to my family, will I still have to accept the test? Thinking that he wanted to go through the back door, because it's a bit unnecessary. Okay. Even if the Chen family has an ancestor who has gone undercover and reached the realm of the great emperor, it is worth learning, but it will also be difficult to deal with the Emperor Luo Holy Dynasty, the first dynasty in the mainland, and continue to be an undercover agent. The atmosphere is already here, and there is still a process to go through. People from the Wang family were also among the crowd. 1 year later, the family will be prosperous, and we must be ready. The Chen family has risen rapidly, and we know the foundation. This mission must be completed. Do you understand? Clear. A group of people slowly approached the Wentian ladder with thoughtful thoughts. There is a man named Xuanhuan in the crowd, a disciple of the Wang family who has been undercover for many years. Wookie was sent to carry out a dangerous mission and turned into the undercover. Forget it, although I know what happened to the Chen family, the Wang family is simple. In order to avoid the fear of accidents this year, let's continue with the process. Slowly, there are more and more people, all accepting the test of the Wentian ladder. The specific details will not be known until we climb up. Soon, many people with great strength fell from the ladder to ask the sky. Yi Gu looked at it, a little solemn. This competition is a bit stressful. Xiao Hao, go ahead. Among them, there are not many school-age children, which is a big worry. Because the Chen family's ladder seems to be a test of overall strength. The higher the cultivation level, the higher you can climb. Yi Hao's face was extremely serious. Grandpa, I will definitely make you and the Yi clan look forward to it. Then walk towards the heaven-questing ladder. The core of the Chen family is actually extremely far away from the outside of the city. Chen Fan is integrating the power of space law. Because of the first experience, this time it will be much faster, done in one go. At a certain moment, the Emperor's power leaked out, and the waves trembled. Chen Fan opened his eyes. 5th level of the Emperor realm. Breaking 2 small levels in a row, the power provided by this source of power is too majestic. Having reached such a level, it is only possible for him to break through his cultivation level so quickly, otherwise it would take a long time for him to settle down. Chen Fan casually took back his imperial power. With comprehensive strength, even the 7th level of the Emperor realm can fight. Of course, after reaching the late stage of the Emperor realm, none of the powerful emperors are easy. It is better to have the same law than the strength of the law. This time, the eldest disciple's own mother is first class. Also at this time, ding, detect the lucky person whose supreme bone was dug out. Poached? Chen Fan understood this. It belongs to the establishment after breaking. Then, Chen Fan disappeared on the spot. We are both monks who have the supreme bone. Seeing that the right supreme bone has been dug up, a lot of fun, he responded with ruthless ridicule. Outside the city, time passed by second, everything was in progress. I knew I was confused. The undercover agents sent by the major forces are all confused. This is the ladder to gain insight into their state of mind. Therefore, we are all surrounded at this moment. We, the people of the Di Luo holy dynasty, how dare you? We are members of the Wang family. We are members of the Qin family. We are from the Shanhai dynasty. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target _type, mix. Chapter 96. All the undercover agents of the Chen family are dead, except for the ancestor of the CH. You are listening at novelfull.audio. People from all the major forces all spoke up to save their lives, otherwise they would not be able to leave alive. It seems that although the rise of the Chen family was short-lived, it is basically impossible to infiltrate it, so it is better to show your cards. However, after these words came out, many monks who were watching were stunned. They didn't want to meddle in other people's business. They could only watch the friction that existed. On the other hand, people from all the major dynasties and major families were also stunned. You are all here. We were all caught. Fortunately, it is not embarrassing, and there are people to accompany us. The undercover of the Chen family was speechless. Xiao Yu's face was covered with frost, and she glanced at everyone. No matter who you are, if you intend to infiltrate my Chen family, it is a capital crime. Come on, kill them all. After saying this, her heart was thumping. I am so scary, but she knew that even if the master was here, he would never let these people go. Let alone those who have ulterior motives. Even those who have evil intentions and ulterior motives will be killed directly. As for whether there are Chen family members among these people, we will know after killing them first. Thinking in our hearts, for a time, dozens of Chen family strongmen, even the powerful puppets, were directly wiped out. You dare! If you offend our major dynasties and families, you will definitely be attacked by everyone. The person who said this was full of confidence and roared quickly. It seems that all major forces have the same idea and are somewhat wary of the Chen family. In this way, it seems that we are also on the front line to some extent. How dare the Chen family attack us? Does the Chen family think that they can fight against the combined forces of our major forces? They spoke at the same time. Do it. Xiao Yu immediately ordered. In an instant, people from all major forces were frightened and their faces turned pale. The Chen family really dared. At this time, the undercovers of the Chen family quickly stood up. Wait. The blood relatives of the main line of the Chen family, Chen Chonghui, that if you don't stand up, you will be killed by mistake. Then it's useless to go back and continue to be an undercover. The second branch of the Chen family, Xuanhuan, returns to the clan. The fifth of the Chen family. For a while, they all spoke. As soon as this was said, the people from all the major forces were stunned again. Chen Zhong. How dare you betray my holy dynasty? Xuanhuan, how dare you betray my Wang family? Vomiting blood. There is a traitor. Other monks were also stunned. Sure enough, they saw it with their own eyes. This time they really saw it with their own eyes. Among the top forces in the wild continent, there are also members of the Chen family. It's so terrifying. Seeing this, Xiao Yu smiled instead. Except for the Chen family, no one else will be spared. In an instant, a group of people surrounded and beat them. They can crush them, and they will never fight one-on-one. Soon, the people sent by the major forces died on the spot, and they died with their eyes open. They didn't understand even when they died. They had exposed their identities, but the Chen family still killed them. Seeing this, Xiao Yu said, "Clean up. Continue recruiting disciples." Chen Zhong and others also felt a chill on their backs. They didn't know who this woman was, but with such power, she must have a good status, and the Chen family killed the people of the top forces so decisively. It was a bit bitter. Those people exposed their identities to save their lives, we also exposed our identities to save our lives. Otherwise, we would have wanted to go back and continue to be undercover. Stupid. Yi Gu, who was not far away, touched the sweat on his forehead. It was so scary. The Chen family dared to kill people from all the major dynasties and major families. I don't know if it was right for me to bring Yi Hao to ask for help from the Chen family. Fortunately, we followed the normal process. As long as Yi Hao got the result, let's talk about it. In the void, Chen Fan watched all this. The second disciple grew up very quickly, at least he would not be soft-hearted. As for the major dynasties and major families, they will confront each other sooner or later. The master can cover her. Then, his eyes were on the ladder to heaven. Find your goal. Through perception, he soon discovered a boy whose body aura was different because the supreme bone was dug out. He was not very old, and looked 7 years old, a few years younger than Bai Fengrong. How could he laugh at me for not having bones? Forget it, as a cultivator with the supreme bone, this is fate. In the future, the supreme bone will grow by itself, so it is better to dig the whole person out of the Chen family and make him a worker. In this way, Chen Fan watched me climb the stairs silently. It was a bit difficult, but he had extraordinary willpower. It was normal to think about it. Soon, the result of the first level of the heavenly ladder came out. Hundreds of thousands of cultivators came this time, and after screening, nearly 50,000 disciples were selected. There is also the test of the Enlightenment Monument and the Taiyue Monument. This process took several days. In the crowd, Yi Hao was a little excited. "Grandpa, I succeeded." Yi Gu laughed. "Xiao Hao, well done. You have become a disciple of the Chen family, and there will always be a chance to meet the ancestor of the Chen family. This is the first step. With this relationship, it is naturally easier to talk, because the Yi family is far inferior to the Chen family." "Grandpa, then am I not a member of the Yi family anymore?" Yi Hao suddenly became depressed. "I didn't want to leave the family because of this, but I had no choice to become a disciple of the Chen family." "Child, you join the Chen family and will always be the pride of the Yi family. Don't worry." Yi Gu touched Yi Hao's hair. "Okay, Grandpa will ask to take you to see the ancestor of the Chen family." Then, he took Yi Hao to find Xiao Yu, because she seemed to be in charge. "Girl, we are from the Yi family, and now this child is also a disciple of the Chen family. I want to see the ancestor of the Chen family." Xiao Yu didn't know the situation, and looked at the two of them. She was quite impressed by this child. "Sorry, my master is very busy." He refused. Why can the old master be seen by just anyone? Yi Gu knew that Xiao Yu was in trouble. "Girl, to tell you the truth, this child's supreme bone was taken away by bad guys. We learned that the ancestor of the Chen family is the supreme body, so we are here to bother you. Please excuse us." Frank. If the ancestor of the Chen family really had a way to restore Yi Hao's supreme bone, then Yi Hao would definitely be valued, cultivated and protected. If it can't, then it's useless. There seems to be nothing to hide in such a secret. Supreme bone. Xiao Yu was surprised when he heard this. This is the second genius with the supreme bone that she has seen besides her master. It's just a pity that he was poached. Otherwise, having such a talented person come to our door, a double supreme master, would definitely be a huge help to the family. "Old man, how about I report it to master and give you an answer?" That the situation was special and she did not dare to make a conclusion on her own. Yi Gu looked happy. "Excuse me, girl." Yi Hao also breathed a sigh of relief and looked forward to it in his heart. The ancestor of the Chen family is a legendary figure. If there is a chance to restore the supreme bone, he must carry it forward and not dare to bury it. When Xiao Yu turned around and left, he suddenly received the message from his master. He turned around and said, old man, my master advises you, just follow me. Ding, recruit disciples and expand your family. Congratulations to the host for receiving a reward of 10 trillion Emperor crystals. Although Chen Fan is not short of money now, he doesn't mind having too much money either. The Emperor crystal can be converted into the best spiritual stone, which is simply incalculable, not to mention, Emperor crystals are rare, and the entire continent cannot produce so many Emperor crystals, but that child's family probably wanted to come find him from the beginning. It has nothing to worry about. I will not mock or bully a child mercilessly. Soon, Yi Gu and Yi Hao were brought by Xiao Yu. Old, Yi Gu of the Yi clan has met the ancestor of the Chen family. Yi Gu was shocked in his heart. The ancestor of the Chen family was indeed as young as the rumors, but didn't dare to think too much, let alone look up. Yi Hao also quickly bowed his hands and saluted. Yi Hao has met the ancestor of the Chen family. Chen Fan hummed and held a cup of tea in his hand. If it is not destroyed, it cannot be established. After it is destroyed, it will be established. But, the Supreme Being will be reborn. Master. Such a state. Yi Gu was directly and completely conquered. The ancestors of the Chen family already knew their purpose. In a word, it is an enlightenment, and there are endless mysteries in it. Thump, Yi Hao knelt down directly. Ancestor of the Chen family, please accept me as your disciple. I won't go back to the Yi clan for now. Grandpa is right. Chapter 97 Another Disciple, Emperor Spirit Jade Bone Liquid. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 97, A Disciple, Emperor Spirit Jade Bone Liquid. Yi Hao also knew that if the Chen family ancestor said so, that was his hope. In this way, he must worship this master. Worship with great sincerity. Chen Fan glanced at him. Get up. If you are willing to worship, I am willing to accept you as a disciple. Thank you, master, and accept your worship again. Yi Hao quickly crawled down. The excitement in his heart were written on his body. Yi Gu smiled. Xiao Hao was really smart and clever. And he was still thinking about what Chen Fan had just said, and his heart was trembling. This trip was right. The mysterious Chen family ancestor, who had seen and heard, understood the supreme bone. One sentence can see through the clues. There is no nonsense. This is tantamount to the hope of the entire Yi family. It is difficult to calm down in the heart. Moreover, the Yi clan didn't pay much, just one Yi Hao. Ding, the disciple was successfully accepted. Congratulations to the host for the reward, the Emperor's Jade Bone Liquid 100 Secrets. After that, Yi Hao became Chen Fan's first disciple. As for the Emperor's Jade Bone Liquid, it is a precious resource that can improve and advance the physique of the cultivator, bone cleansing and marrow removal. Chen Fan was very satisfied. On the other side, Bai Fengrong successfully refined the ancestral phoenix blood, and her aura rose steadily. The peak of the Emperor realm. Stuck in the 9th level of the Emperor realm for endless years, she finally climbed to the peak with the help of opportunities and resources. The opportunity is her master. The resources are the key to the ancestral phoenix blood and other precious treasures of the Chen family. I don't want to go back. The investment results are obvious, and the personal investment income is rich. Of course, it is also a little bit of my daughter's light. After learning that her master also broke through to the 5th level of the Emperor realm, the whole person is a bit unwell. There is no harm without comparison. Her master's path is destined to be unstoppable. Blocked? Don't worry, she will help. After learning that her master has recruited a disciple whose supreme bone was dug out. I don't know why. Supreme bone genius is indeed rare, but after being dug out, it is obviously not so eye-catching. I don't know why her master would accept a disciple. Mom, master is so powerful. I really hope to see you and master fighting and learning from each other one day. Bai Fengrong thought very simply, prepare a backstage for herself, because master and mother can fight, which means that master has also reached the peak of the continent. In this way, she herself is too stable. Sister, you will see it soon. Bai Fengrong had to admit that at this terrifying speed, that day will be soon. Mom, then I'll wait. Bai Fengrong smiled. After learning that she had a little junior brother, she didn't feel much, and everything the master did was right. Of course, the main thing is that she is not the youngest disciple anymore. Finally, she can command her younger apprentice brother as a real senior sister. Age is not suppressed. At the same time, all the people sent out died in the Chen family. All dynasties and noble families admire the Chen family's sharpness and courage, but they really don't know the Chen family, and they want to find out the truth. After all, they are not right in this matter, but they can't put pressure on a family that has just started, and they can't lose face. At least the Chen family they see now is not qualified for them to make a big move. Take the former Wang family as a representative. The head of the family, Wang Teng, was very angry. This Chen family, with its sharpness revealed, is really an ambitious family. Otherwise, it would not be so decisive and kill all the people sent by the top forces without hesitation. This is tantamount to a deterrent, and they are not afraid of their various forces at all. Of course, from another perspective, it is understandable. After all, the Chen family is now also a powerful family, and will not tolerate any sand. It seems that we can only wait until the prosperous age of the family to find out the truth. Whether it is real strength or just a facade, we will know at that time. As for the loss of a few people, it doesn't matter. At this level, we can't cause trouble with small things. Other powerful families also think so. Emperor Luo Xingqiao. Emperor Luo looked calm. Interesting. Logically speaking, even if the new official takes office with 3 fires, the Chen family should not act like this. After all, the deterrent power of various dynasties and powerful families is there, and ordinary people don't dare to do it, let alone the newly rising families and the families that have ascended to heaven in one step. But he did it, which shows that the Chen family is extremely ambitious. Is it ambition or strength, or just a facade? This family that no one knows is really a headache. Afterwards, Emperor Luo disappeared in his own palace. This person who led the family to rise seems to be qualified for her to meet in person. Chen family, everything returned to peace and order. After Yi Hao became his disciple, Yi Gu returned to the Yi family, and Yi Hao stayed in the Chen family. That day, the master and apprentice walked around casually. Xiao Hao, do you know the meaning of no destruction, no establishment, and after destruction, establishment? Chen Fan asked casually. Yi Hao thought about it. Master, I know. Just like being put to death before rebirth, breaking the cocoon can become a butterfly. That's right. Chen Fan nodded. You are the same as my master, the body of the innate supreme. In fact, my master is a cheating body. As long as you concentrate on practicing, it won't be difficult to be reborn as the supreme being. Thank you for your guidance, master. I will never neglect my practice. Yi Hao cherishes this opportunity and this bond. Master is the beacon of his inner hope and light. Chen Fan hummed. At your age, you haven't awakened your physique yet. Unscientific. How can a person with good luck not have the standard of pretending to be cool? Yi Hao scratched his head. Master, the resources of the Yi family are limited. If it is a hidden physique, it requires a lot of opportunities. I don't know that I don't have a physique. Chen Fan heard it and took out some Emperor Spirit Jade bone liquid. In this case, I will help you. This is Emperor Spirit Jade bone liquid, which can help you awaken your physique. Yi Hao was overjoyed when he saw this. Thank you, master. He came to the inside of the Chen family and realized that everything here was enough to be exaggerated. Not only is the spiritual energy extremely rich, but there are also a lot of precious resources. It can be said to be a paradise for cultivators. In addition, how could he not leave the Yi family and stay in the Chen family? Then, Yi Hao began to refine the Emperor Spirit Jade bone liquid, and Chen Fan, as the master, was responsible for protecting the law. It can also control the flow of time and save time. If he takes action, he can naturally protect Yi Hao's safety and deal with variables. Unknowingly, it was night. At a certain moment, the whole room was shining with golden light from Yi Hao's body. Ding, disciple Yi Hao successfully awakened his physique. Congratulations to the host for winning the reward, the Emperor Weapon Wilderness Holy Sword. Chen Fan smiled when he saw this. I said. This reward is not bad, but he is used to fighting. Yi Hao's face was very excited. Master, what kind of physique do I have? The Emperor Spirit Jade bone liquid really worked wonders. His physique awakened. Desolate holy body. At this point, Chen Fan suddenly noticed a strange force appearing, and it was not hidden, the breath of the Emperor. Desolate holy body. Yi Hao was so excited. Xiao Hao, you should get familiar with your physique. After saying this, Chen Fan disappeared on the spot. Yes, master. Yi Hao didn't know why the master suddenly left, but he wouldn't say anything. Chen Fan soon appeared in the city. Above the void, there was a woman, a strange emperor, and she looked very strong. That was the aura, the terrifying momentum, which was difficult to hide and could not be cultivated in a short time. Your Excellency came to my Chen family, what do you mean by that? Emperor Luo looked at Chen Fan at the same time. The fifth level of the Emperor. Chapter 98, The Decisive Emperor Di Luo. Time flies. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If nothing else happens, the man in front of him will be the rumored ancestor of the Chen family. It turns out that he is in the imperial realm. It is also said that the ancestor of the Chen family has achieved a breakthrough in cultivation in a very short period of time. Astonished, because he should not have been so powerful in Taishu state before, Emperor Di Luo felt that he had come to the right place this time, otherwise, he would really be out of control. He said calmly, Ancestor of the Chen family, this emperor suddenly visited the Chen family. I wonder if you will still welcome me. That she came to nature to see the attitude of the Chen family. The major ancient masters were afraid that they would be powerless and had no reason to come to the Chen family. Chen Fan's expression remained unchanged. Since your excellency has already said that you are visiting unexpectedly, how can you say welcome? Emperor Di Luo didn't take it seriously. This emperor, come from the holy dynasty of Di Luo. Test out your mouth while observing your words and emotions. Hearing this, Chen Fan smiled. I have heard for a long time that the Emperor Luo holy dynasty is the imperial court of the Empress. Now it seems that it is worthy of the name. Then I don't know what the purpose of Emperor Di Luo is when he comes here. No wonder the opponent's momentum is so astonishing, the domineering energy leaks out, the majesty of this environment is honed. Of course, he can guess a few of the thoughts of the Emperor Luo holy dynasty. But the other party must have thought too much. He has no interest in the so-called royal family, he is interested in something else. Emperor Luo knows it all. From this point of view, the Chen family has no intention of claiming kingship and hegemony. However, guarding against others is indispensable. Since the ancestor of the Chen family knows what I mean by this emperor, why ask even though he knows it? Immediately, the conversation changed. I wonder if the ancestor of the Chen family is interested in fighting with me. To understand a person and dig out his details, the most direct way is to fight. Logically speaking, she does not need to take action personally, but now it seems that the ancestor of the Chen family is worthy of her taking action personally. Isn't this bullying? Chen Fan didn't want to fight everywhere. Emperor Di Luo said before, we have no relationship and no grudges, why should we fight? That he also knows that the other party wants to use his trump card. As for the purpose, it is self-evident. Emperor Luo is at the 8th level of the Emperor realm. Although he is not afraid, it is difficult to win or lose. You can't crush it and hammer it to the ground. It's obviously boring and doesn't bring much happiness. Emperor Di Luo's pupils shrank slightly, and he was about to say that it's not up to you. Suddenly, he noticed a breath approaching and immediately suppressed his words. An old man appeared next to Chen Fan. Your Highness, Master Princess, why do you need to do it yourself? His aura was hidden without any leakage, and he looked directly at Emperor Di Luo. Showing off his masterly demeanor, Emperor Di Luo was startled. He almost thought you were his princess, but his beautiful eyes were wary. This person is unfathomable. When Chen Fan saw the clan elder coming, before he could speak, Emperor Luo disappeared directly, leaving behind a sentence, 1 year later, the family will be prosperous. There was no figure. Your Highness the Princess, my master, I will chase you. The clan elder locked onto a void. Chen Fan said casually, no need. We may not be able to stop the 8th level Emperor realm expert from leaving. You scared people away. Emperor Di Luo is really a decisive person, without any hesitation. No wonder he is in his current position. The clan elder obviously knew this and didn't say much. Because is considered to be at the first level of suppressive cultivation, it is indeed difficult to stay without knowing the other party's details. By the way, clan elder, you can just call me Ancestor. Chen Fan reminded, to avoid misunderstanding, but what will happen 1 year later? Of course the Chen family would not refuse, the clan elder's name was Su Clan. When he heard that, his eyes widened, and he felt that Her Royal Highness the Princess's master was inexplicably a senior one. Emperor Di Luo has appeared in another void. Who is it? That the old man had no aura leaking out, and it was obvious that his cultivation strength was superior to hers. If she doesn't leave, I'm afraid she will have to fight, and the outcome is unpredictable. The Chen family actually has such a strong person in charge. The other party should not be unknown. Her Royal Highness the Princess is her teacher. Which dynasty are you from? But she had never heard of this person at all. Such an unexpected event caught her off guard. As for face, it had no effect at this time, and she didn't care, otherwise she wouldn't have disobeyed the royal ancestor and ascended to the throne resolutely. Ancestor of the Chen family, he is young and has a high level of emperor status, the supreme bone. This threat is not ordinary, but from this point of view, even the Di Luo holy dynasty cannot act rashly. Her previous caution and paranoia were true. It is really possible that the Chen family will appear in a flash in the pan and appear directly above their heads in the imperial palace. I thought I could still test the depth and calculate the time. After all, the Chen family will become stronger with the supreme bone Emperor Ju. Sooner or later, other forces will have time to prepare to deal with it. Now, time is gone. Shaking his head, this trip was not in vain. Fortunately, she came in person, otherwise the Emperor Luo holy dynasty would definitely not be able to withstand the blow if it lost an Emperor realm powerhouse. His eyes flickered, and then he fled directly into the void. Time flies, in the blink of an eye. It's almost time for Ling Qingcheng. I practiced as a saint in the Holy Land, but I just went back and gave the Emperor a baby. Also in these 7 or 8 months, the Chen family's major industrial foundations have been completely stabilized. The foundation is enhanced step by step. But it's no trouble. After all, the volume is already here. It is inevitable for Chen Fan to train disciples. The eldest disciple is heartless, but he is making rapid progress. Just a few days ago, he broke through the first level of the fusion realm. He can be called an absolute demon. Bai Fengrong has also grown a little taller. Well, grow up quickly and be more stable. This is the teacher's expectation. The second disciple Xiao Yu has been trained. Needless to say, she is no longer that childish and cute aunt. She has her own ideas and strengths and can stand on her own. Her strength has also broken through from the extraordinary realm when she refined the blood of the ancestor dragon to the 9th level of the spirit transformation realm. She has truly been reborn. Even though she has no physique, the blood of the ancestor dragon makes her body feel like a diamond Barbie. In fact, it looks the same as before. It should be big, thin, and soft. The third disciple Ling Zhoshue has broken through to the peak of the Dao Palace realm. The descendant of the divine blood is so terrifying. If she is given resources, she can quickly become strong and can definitely stand on her own. The fourth disciple Yi Hao's ancient holy body, needless to say, has already taken shape after the excavated supreme bone was cultivated with the Emperor's Jade bone liquid and various resources. It may not take long for the supreme to be promoted. In addition to cultivation, Aunt Chen Luoyu also has considerable attainments in the way of alchemy. She has helped the young saint alchemist. The scale of Chen's disciples has expanded many times, adding up to nearly 100,000 people. The forces of the affiliated sects are constantly increasing and difficult to count. The senior sisters are also cultivated by him, the junior brother, and they are making rapid progress. Even his mother is cultivated and guided by him to practice. Because of the long river of time, the masters of the major god and demon pavilions have broken through to the emperor realm in one fell swoop. The Taiga god and demon pavilion has also expanded a lot. The creation puppet technique has been implemented to cultivate a group of powerful and alternative geniuses. Of course, with so much effort, the system rewards Chen Fan received are also astronomical, which can be said to be everything. As a result, his cultivation level broke through to the 7th level of the Emperor realm. Don't ask about cheating. That day, Chen Fan stood with his hands behind his back in the courtyard. 8 Emperor realm level strength, 3,000 Saint Realm, 3,000 Tribulation Realm. There are countless other levels of powerhouses. Against any dynasty and family, they are not inferior. This does not count the powerhouses of the major affiliated top sections. Of course, there are some powerhouses who returned from undercover in the Chen family and broke through in the long river of time. It was also at this time. Ancestor, the wife is gone. Jun Hongzhao hurried over. By the way, Jun Hongzhao has also studied it clearly. She has a mysterious and rare physique. The specific effect can allow him to break through another level of cultivation. The wife is gone. Chen Fan heard and hurried back to the house to see his wife. Besides, Qiao is also about to die, but it will take some time. Chapter 99, A Strange Phenomenon from the Sky, the Daughter of the Ancestor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the room, Ling Qingqing was lying on the bed, her face was a little pale, and her long hair was loose. Husband. Seeing Chen Fan coming, she was her backbone, and she called out weakly. Madam. Chen Fan hurriedly sat on the bed, holding her palm, and soothing her breath. He could sense the fluctuations in his wife's breath, which was obviously a little disordered. This world is fair. The higher the strength, the easier it is to give birth. Because the baby will be stronger when it is born, it also means that the power will be stripped from the mother, so the more power is stripped, the greater the test for the mother. If you want to describe it with a law, this is the rule set by the Creator, the law of life. Husband, we have a baby. I can feel that she is about to come into this world. Ling Qingqing was actually a little confused. She even forgot some of the pain and adaptation that the daughter in her belly brought her. You may not believe it, but I am going to be a mother. Suspicion, Chen Fan smiled. This is the smile of an old father. Madam, I know, we will wait together. This is a big deal, the family attaches great importance to it, and the entire Chen family is the focus of everyone's attention and expectations. These days, Ling Qingqing has been taken care of properly. Fearing that there will be a slight mistake, as an old father, all kinds of resources are managed, taking care of his wife to replenish his strength, and nurturing the fetus at the same time. By the way, all kinds of prenatal education are also carried out in succession. Mo Qingyin must have paid a lot. Well, it's a daughter, he has seen it. He used the law of space to go in and see that it has taken shape and can be sensed. He wanted to use the law of space to change the living person, and his wife would not have to endure the pain of changing the daughter, but his wife agreed. Because she is the mother. Ling Qingqing hummed and leaned on Chen Fan. Husband, I like you and our baby. Speaking slowly, he didn't know whether it was fear or worry. Maybe it was because she had no experience for the first time. At the same time, she stroked her belly with her jade hand. Chen Fan covered her palm and kissed her clean forehead, seeming to have completely forgotten that he was her brother. Madam, I like you and our baby. The couple quietly waited for the little life to begin, until a certain moment, the amniotic fluid broke. The couple also looked at each other. Husband. Ling Qingqing's face struggled a little. Madam, don't be afraid, I'll protect you. Chen Fan then immediately sent a voice message to shake people. Don't dare to scare the fetus. The midwives were already waiting, and soon several midwives came in and hurriedly began to deliver the baby for the old ancestor's wife. This is their honor, and there is no room for error. Soon, the entire Chen family was ready, and countless strong men were all dispatched, but quietly, without a sound. The old lady must not be disturbed. Those who guard the house, and those who patrol, just in case. Even a fly can't fly, the wings are too noisy, ants can pass by and move, the footsteps are too loud. Bai Fengrong burned incense and worshipped Buddha in the ancestral temple. She was still mumbling. The ancestors of the Chen family blessed the master's wife to be safe, blessed the birth of my sister, and blessed the master to finally get what he wants. She came to worship on behalf of the master, because she always felt that the master was rebellious. And brought Yi Hao with her. Junior brother, kowtow quickly. This junior brother is very talented, but your senior sister is still your senior sister, unshakable. Yi Hao said, okay, senior sister. Executed smoothly. Ancestors, junior brother is here to forgive the sins of the master. Bai Fengrong felt relieved. This kind of thing, the younger brother can do it, it's really heartbreaking. Junior brother, let's go. After paying respects, he quickly took Yihao to visit. Xiao Yu, Joshua and the others were also busy. The master's wife was about to give birth, and the master's wish was finally going to come true. Jiang Luoli and the other sisters never expected that the younger junior brother would become a father first, so they hurried to see the junior brother's wife. Outside the door, Yang Lingqing paced back and forth anxiously, and didn't dare to disturb him. Holding the grandson, Qiao flew over. Mom, how is Qingqing? Yang Lingqing was startled. Qiao, you are also pregnant. No matter how strong you are, you can't take care of your body so much. This daughter-in-law is a great emperor. Mom, I'm fine. Qiao gently stroked her belly. She is older than her mother by who knows how many rounds, but she has become accustomed to being called. She is also coming soon, and her eyebrows are full of loving looks. Yang Lingqing was very relieved. You should take care of yourself even if you are fine. Qingqing hasn't been born yet, but it looks like she will be born soon. Just as she finished speaking, suddenly, she found that the sky had changed drastically. The wind was rising and the clouds were surging. A terrifying aura filled the space, and thunder descended, as if the wrath of the heaven was pouring down. You can see the thick clouds rolling and moving at a very fast speed. The strange phenomena of heaven and earth. Qi Yao's beautiful eyes condensed. My daughter hasn't been born yet, but she has already caused strange phenomena of heaven and earth. This is a sign of heaven's jealousy. It is enough to show her daughter's vulgarity. Seeing this, Yang Lingqing looked worried. What happened to the sky? Her body was trembling a little. Some things were beyond her level, and she only knew a little. Mom, don't worry, this is a precursor to the strange phenomena of heaven and earth, it's okay. Qi Yao hurried to comfort. My husband had already made arrangements. At the same time, the whole Chen family was shocked. A vision from heaven. Looking up at the terrifying aura coming from heaven, it was so overwhelming that it took one's breath away. Bai Fengrong, the Su clan, and the masters of the major gods and demon pavilions suddenly appeared. Let's take action together to suppress the celestial phenomenon. The might of the great emperor exploded, letting the violent storms fall and looking directly at the way of heaven. Bai Fengrong somewhere saw this, her beautiful eyes widened. Vision, mother. It's too late. My sister is about to be born. Let's go quickly. He pulled Yihao and started to run. Yihao's whole body was bumping sideways. Soon, the phenomenon began to slowly dissipate. It turned into 9-colored divine light and descended, spreading all over the earth. The dazzling sunlight above the head became extremely bright. Auspicious clouds are everywhere, the edges are visible, dragons and phoenixes are flying, and the shadows of mythical beasts are appearing and taking off, which is an auspicious sign. This is not over yet. The shadow of the endless magic weapon has arrived. The king of soldiers, the emperor of soldiers, stretches to the sky and covers the earth. Thousands of swords stand in the void. Extremely huge, but because of the auspicious clouds, you can see the whole thing clearly, only half of it, releasing a mysterious and ancient aura. Everyone looked up in unison, horrified and ecstatic in their hearts. Such a scene also made the entire surrounding Dao domain start to become restless. Tens of thousands of forces and countless powerful disciples worshipped him, because they can also know that the heir of the ancestor of the Chen family was born. As soon as he was born, he had such incredible luck. Chen family, in the room. Chen Fan stayed with Ling Qingqing, who was dripping with sweat. Hold his hand tightly. Of course he knows what's going on in the outside world. Visions of heaven and earth. The old father was also extremely excited, but when his daughter came out, he was so anxious that the law of space suddenly changed into a living person. Ma'am, try harder. The midwives kept encouraging, try hard. Chen Fan could only look at it. Madam, try harder. Husband. Ling Qingqing grabbed Chen Fan and let go. No, a certain moment, wowed, there was a cry of a baby, making everyone breathe a sigh of relief simultaneously. Chen Fan's world seemed to have fallen into some kind of mute state. Ding, the capital of the great emperor. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission and receiving the reward. The origin of the ultimate divine weapon, system, don't speak. He could notice that the strength in his wife had weakened countless times. The piece of flesh that had been taken away by the daughter and fell from the mother's body was the essence and all the hard work that had been poured into her, the newly born daughter. Under her double eyes, the supreme bones are faintly visible, her bloodline has extraordinary power, and her constitution is also that of Chaos Tao. There are still shadows of weapons in her body. Accompanying magic weapon. It seems that the spiritual energy in the whole body is the same, and the cultivation level is impressively in the divine realm. Companion exercises. Congratulations, Ancestor, it's gold. The midwives hurriedly congratulated her. He looked at Chen Fan and then held him in the arms of Mrs. Ancestor. Chen Fan felt that he was still mute. Is this the power of the law of reincarnation? The cessation of reincarnation and the breath of life are passed down from generation to generation. This is the secret. Lady. Looking at his wife holding the baby, then I heard two words. Rebel. Chapter 100. The Ancestor was punished. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time seemed to become extremely long, and Chen Fan responded so quickly. The speed law was not practiced for so long in vain. When he heard the word reverse. No, when he heard the pronunciation of N. He realized that something was wrong, it was urgent. He directly transferred space and said goodbye to the wives. No one knew where they went. He was even worried, so he reversed time by 0.01 seconds and sent them on a public-funded trip in advance. Then he looked at his wife, lying on the bed, leaning against him, wearing only a white lining, her long hair fluttering, her face still pale and weak, her arms around her, holding the baby in her arms. Her eyes were gentle as if only her daughter was there, but she obviously looked much more mature and cold, but her temperament and momentum. It was as if she had not just been to the baby, and in terms of feelings, it was even worse than before. This scene was the same as what he had expected, but also different. His face suddenly became extremely serious and he considered for 0.01 seconds. Master, please accept my respects. Sincere, decisive, and without bad intentions, how could he care about his daughter? First there was a wife, then there was a daughter, and finally there was a reward. He still knew the order clearly, and he definitely didn't hear hallucinations. No wonder the law of reincarnation suddenly came. It turned out that the master had awakened his memory. It was also because his daughter was born and understood the law of reincarnation. Fuck. A kid can awaken. It's all over. Ling Qingqing carefully hugged her daughter who had just been born. After comforting her as a mother, she said leisurely. What punishment do you want? At the same time, she kept staring at her daughter who was like a porcelain doll in her arms, staring at her eyes, mine. Confused, messy. I'm happy to be a mother, and the moment my daughter was born, she realized the mystery of the law of reincarnation and experienced it personally. At the same time, she was integrated into the 9 revolutions of reincarnation, so she awakened her memory and figured out everything, but she also has rules. Little traitor, your wings are hard, how dare you? How can I face others? Punishment. I heard that Chen Fan is a rebellious person. He held my hand in front of me. You didn't say that. My dear, I don't think there is any need for punishment. My daughter did nothing wrong. Why should she be punished? My dear, she kept staring at her daughter and said that. What does it have to do with me as a father? Ling Qingqing really couldn't look straight. After all, she was the one who raised the traitor like this. She educated and guided him in his practice. He was only 3 years old when he left. In the blink of an eye, he had gone astray for more than 2 years. Even Qiao didn't dare to think about it. Now she is not serious at all. Barrett, turn your head and stare at the traitor. He can even hold his daughter, stand up and walk around at will. Why? Give me a reason. Don't pretend, you still want to get away with it. Today, you must divide a master and a disciple. Your master is still your master. More daughters, not allowed. Chen Fan didn't dare to say anything at all, because the siblings were suppressed by blood, not to mention the master-disciple relationship. Master, I know my mistakes. Please punish me. His attitude was respectful. How could he dare to act rashly? Ling Qingqing heard that it seemed that the traitor was a traitor and the traitor was reasonable. It was too late to say anything, and the baby was already there. Since you know your mistakes, tell me, what do you want to kneel for? As the queen of Xuanji, the queen also set rules. It was common for the brother to kneel and retreat when he made a mistake. Thinking back to the past, this traitor had been punished several times, and she still felt that she was cruel. Of course, this time it was directly against her, the master. Washboard? Chen Fan glanced at it. Ling Qingqing didn't say anything. Is that thing useful to you, a powerful emperor? Although she was also shocked, why could this traitor have such a heaven-defying achievement in just over 2 decades? But, let's not talk about it for now. There is business, that is to maintain the dignity of being a master. As for being a traitor, let's not talk about it, let's solve the cause and effect first. Keyboard? Chen Fan wondered, can you not be so cruel, Durian? Acupressure pad. This is okay. My daughter is still watching, take it easy, it's not good to play too much. Ling Qingqing said it to the traitor very seriously, but the more she listened, the more confused she became, and her beautiful eyes were stunned. What is it? Quickly shake off the clues. Okay, there's a futon over there. As the master, he took the initiative to point out the way. After saying that, he turned around and sat by the bed to look at his daughter, so cute and a super genius. His eyes opened for a while and stared at her, as if he was begging for mercy from her father. Chen Fan immediately looked at the futon. This? It seems that the master still knows how to feel sorry for people and has a sense of belonging, in order to be able to lie in bed at night, so that my daughter can have brothers and sisters in the future. You must be able to be soft and hard. At the same time, outside the door, Yang Lingqing and others heard the baby crying and were relieved when they were born. Their hearts finally fell. It's not easy. It's gone, master's wife is gone. It's gone. Everyone whispered in a low voice, afraid of disturbing, and the joy was beyond words. I couldn't help being excited, because the strange phenomenon of heaven and earth just now was extremely amazing, shocking, and unforgettable. They had never seen such a scene before. In this case, the ancestor must be extraordinary. At this moment, the strange phenomenon of heaven and earth is still there, with no sign of dissipating. Why is there no sound? Yang Lingqing was confused when she realized that her mother-in-law did not come out to pick her up, and her son-in-law did not come out to announce the good news. But if the two wives were in love in there, it would not be good for so many people to see them. For a moment, I didn't know how to break in more appropriately and reasonably. Grandma, could the master have fallen asleep due to tiredness? Bai Fengrong whispered, puff. Fengrong, that was your master's wife who fell asleep due to tiredness. How could it be your master? Bai Fengrong heard this and said that she had no experience and had never seen it. Wait a little longer, wait for the midwife to announce the good news, then we can go in. Yang Lingqing suppressed the urgency of holding her granddaughter. Logically speaking, they could only go in if the midwife announced the good news first. Otherwise, they would not know the situation. Of course, everyone could only wait for Yang Lingqing to speak. However, after waiting for a long time, there was no movement. Everyone began to be confused. What's going on? Soon they got anxious. They all stuck to the doors and windows and began to listen. They seemed to hear some strange noises, and they were all confused. As they listened, they heard, with a bang, the door was pushed open. They froze on the spot. Then they saw a shocking scene. Yang Lingqing, Qiao, Bai Fengrong, Jun Hongzhao, Fang Yuehua, Mo Qingyin, Yunlan, Bai Fengyao, Xiao Yu, Ling Zhouxue, Yihao, Jiang Luoli, Su Hanshuang, Li Miaoxin, Shengguan Yuhan, Di Chao and other Qin brothers. A group of people were all shocked at the same time. What's going on? Isn't it a child? Excuse me. He said immediately and quickly closed the door.